So I made a how-to at-home coffee enema video for all my patients that have asked me about how to do it, and for anyone else that's intimidated by the process. Hopefully this answers some questions. And I do want to just say though that this is not medical advice. This is not right for everyone. So this is for the people who, they're practitioners, they're whether holistic or Western, have recommended doing a coffee enema, and you just maybe want some support and taking the first step towards doing it. This is for you, but this is not advice to do it because it's not right for everyone. It's not healthy for everyone, and there's definitely considerations every individual needs to take into account for what's right for them. So that being said, if you're curious about what helps me and how I do it, proceed. Your life, enema coffee. And now as the coffee boils, I'm going to set up my enema spot in the bathroom. This is my gemstone heating pad. And then these are my reusable enema towels that I only use for my enema setup. It's just to cover me there. And then you get another towel for your head here. I have made myself a little bathroom bed ready for an enema. This is reminiscent of my college days, sleeping by the toilet. Those days are gone, thank God. Couldn't handle them now. This is just to rinse it out with some soapy water, and then I put hydrogen peroxide on the insert part. Wipe off that hydrogen peroxide because you don't want that in your phone, Julio. Might burn. This is my tabletop distiller where I distill the water, put it in jars, and that's I use for my enemas. But then for drinking water, I add some minerals to it. All right, we got that boiling. I'm just gonna turn that down to a simmer. That simmer a little. Very important, you want to make sure this is all the way closed on the last clicker so that when you fill this up with your enema stuff, it does not go all over your nice bed you just made. I just prop that behind there just to get a little more room in there, but some people have the buckets that have the handles that the hook goes off of on top, so it sits better. Those are probably better, but I work with what I got. Now I'm going to fill the bucket with half water, and then I'll go get the coffee, and we don't want that coffee burning my butt, so it'll be room temperature or body temperature actually when I do half of the room temperature water. Okay, I'm just gonna strain the coffee.
Oh yeah, it's coffee time.
Save some for round two, and into the
Coffee. Give me that.
I'm using Emily's Skin Soother. Also, of course, just use coconut oil. And I usually have a little, just separate jar for my enema coconut oil. So I just put a little bit on there, and then I lie on my side, and then we get to it. And yes, I'm also using my pajama sweatpants as an extra pillow support. And now I'm going to reach back and open up the flow. Hopefully it's not too hot. Oh, I forgot to mention, shoot. It's really important to empty some of it out in the toilet first, just to get the bubbles out, because you don't want to put bubbles in. It's not the end of the world if you do, but better to not. So you can just open up the flow, squirt it right into the toilet, and then close it off again so you've got, the tube is filled. Anywho, I'm filling now. And the whole idea here is to relax, so get to it. And for round two, I'm just gonna add a drop, like a tablespoon of this. This is expensive stuff, and it's made to be orally taken, which I do, and I'll probably have just a little tablespoon before breakfast. Oh, sorry, teaspoon, hee hee. But I'm just gonna put a drop, a little half a capful in my enema, because I'm rich and I can splurge. So I thought I was gonna be able to sit with round one longer because I had a bowel movement this morning. And usually that means that I can just relax and hold the enema better, but I wasn't able to hold it very long, only 4 minutes or something. And ideally with a coffee enema, you actually want to hold it 15 minutes because that's how long it takes for the circulation off your intestines to absorb it and send it up to your liver. And then the caffeine and the palmitic acid in the coffee will stimulate the glutathione pathways of the liver to get a better relief, a nice detox release. So now, that's why round two is always nice, because just in case you can't hold it. And sometimes I tell people just do water for the first round if you haven't had a good bowel movement because you just want to use the first round as a way to release and clear the pathway so that you can absorb the coffee better. And then you can go in with the coffee and hold it for a bit, relax. And sometimes I'll even hold it a little bit longer because I'm watching a video and I'm just so relaxed. So now I'm on round 2 and I feel really relaxed. I did the fill and I'm just hanging out, and this is where I can just get my motivation for the day organized and feel positive and hopeful for the future. This is my space to do that. And then after that, I'll clean everything up. I'll be ready to face the day. Just another note about when you're relaxing, you may get waves of crampiness. And of course, if it's too much and you're like, you gotta go get on the toilet. But sometimes, just like with a colonic, as you get more experienced with it, you can just breathe through it and allow it to sit and relax. Then it'll calm down again and you'll be able to hold it a little bit longer. So again, the idea is you want for coffee enema to hold for about 15 minutes. Get that time for it to get to the liver, to have the reaction for the detox. Water enemas, little salt, a little lemon, really nice and safe, easy, just a warm distilled water. Salt or lemon is nice and gentle and you don't have to hold those. You're just rinsing out the colon, or rinsing out the rectum, I should say. With an enema, you're not getting far up like in a colonic. You're just getting some water in the rectum, which will stimulate some reaction from the colon to get a better release. So with the coffee enema, you're actually trying to keep things relaxed so you could absorb that coffee. So sometimes good to do just a plain enema first and rinse things out and then go in with the coffee enema. By the way, I moved face up. Sometimes I like to do that. And then I'll just even gently massage the belly, or just put a nice warm hand over below my belly button just to give my colon, my intestines some love. Running soapy water through it again. I'll clean it with hydrogen peroxide. I'll run a little hydrogen peroxide through there. I change out these tubes every 3 times when I get the refills on Amazon. And that's the idea. I know what you're thinking. That was in your butt and now it was in the sink. I'm gonna clean everything so thoroughly. This is my bathroom cleaning ritual that happens after my enema, so everything will get spick and span clean. So I do my coffee enemas usually Saturday mornings if I don't have something else going on. It's kind of my time. And everybody's different. So it might be something you try once and never do again, or it might be something you're like, I could probably use this once a month, or depending on what's going on in your body. For me, I had my intestines slow down from mold exposure. I have a history of chronic constipation, though I conquered that for most of my adult life. I had actually a really good digestive system for a long time, but then I had repeated mold exposure, specifically one apartment that put me over the edge and slowed things down, and all of a sudden I had major constipation and skin issues, and that's just how things manifest for me. Everybody's different. Anyone who's been on the mold journey knows it's intense and it affects everyone differently. People get all kinds of symptoms from it. So for me, it was digestive and skin. And one of the things that's been really helpful is coffee enemas. So you really want to make sure you're eliminating one of the first things you need to address. So enemas can be really helpful, colonics can be really helpful, but don't get addicted. I have to mention that just because it's a thing. People sometimes take things to the extreme. I've been accused of it, but doing a coffee enema once a week, in my opinion, is okay, especially if you're trying to heal from something where you're not eliminating enough. That can just be really supportive. But I've had to turn people away as a colon therapist who wanted to come in every single day. And I'm like, you're not sitting on your toilet and you should be, and you need to go home and do that. And we can talk about all the things to support you in doing that, but doing it daily, there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong. If you're dealing with chronic health issues and you really need to deep detox, there's a time and a place for a much deeper cleanse where you're doing daily elimination support, whether that's colonics or enemas. There's a time and a place for almost anything, but everything in context. So I just want to mention that. I can't help but giggle a little bit, and I know it's not totally funny because people do get addicted to things. There's a show, Strange Addiction, or that used to be on, and there was a woman that was addicted to coffee enemas, and her husband was like, I thought this was crazy and I thought she was gross, and then I tried it and now I'm addicted to coffee enemas too.
I absolutely would fall apart without them. my initial reaction was, my God, that's disgusting. But I tried it, and now I'm addicted to coffee enemas.
Don't get addicted. Find your balance. Everybody's going through different things. You got to find what works for you, but you don't want to overwork your system or deplete yourself. So it's just a point worth mentioning. A testament to, honestly, it can feel good. It can be your time to just recenter, and you do get a sense of clarity and ease when you have that release from a coffee enema. So there's that.